Hello guys, so today we're going to be reviewing two figures. This is the TwoBad figure from Masters of the Universe Mattel, which I got for $32.99, and this one is the Cyclops from Hasbro Pulse. This is the one that came in the VHS box, which I got for, how much was this? $28. $33, $28. All right, I'm just pointing that out now because we're going to go back to the value comparison between the two. So beginning with TwoBad. TwoBad is very, very basic when it comes to paint. 90% is without paint. It's bare plastic, but the bare plastic that they use, it's the separation works very, very well, as you can see. The only paint that I can tell is from the facial features of these two. This one a little bit on the belt. I You know what, I take that back. I think they painted this side as well, the scaly part, because there's no way they can do these two in two different plastics. So I think they painted the scaly part up here as well, because you do see some sort of wash and some glitter going on over there. But they did the painting very well, because you really can't tell the difference between this one and this one. Right, there's a little bit of shyness, a little bit of satiny look on the upper part, on the outer torso, but you can tell this one is almost bare plastic. There's some wash going on over here, I can see. Anyway, so in terms of the paint, the head sculpt is very well done. I love the two different facial expressions that they have. And then the paint application that they use, it's very bare minimum, but it works very, very well to accentuate the differences between the two. A happy kind of evil grin, and this one's kind of like a snarly, bad temper guy. Right? So that's it for the paint application. It comes with an axe that has a double-sided feature. The same thing with the shield, also has a double-sided feature. Very, very nice in terms of the texturing that they did. They didn't need to make this different textures, but they did. It really accentuates the differences between the two. A very nicely sculpted belt. Very plain gun blaster. A mace in the back that clumps into this one, and they didn't need to do that, but I love that extra feature that they did. Another mace over here. A close-fisted hand, and another close-fisted hand to replace it if you want to. And then for articulation, it can go look up as high as that for both heads. Look down, and definitely go around as much as you need to. I love that he has that earring over there. It has a ball joint on the upper torso and a twist on the waist to give you all that movement. Rotation on the shoulder and a cut in the bicep, which is nicely hidden by this. You can also remove this if you want to. This has a double bicep elbow and a wrist peg, and it does go side to side. As for the legs, it goes up to that much. Oops, that came loose. Double jointed on the knee, up and down on the ankles as much as you need to, and a pivot. Let me just put the waist really quick. I do love that they retained that old feature in the belt loops where you can just put everything back like they did in the old days, when I was younger. I love this figure. I was never that familiar with TwoBad. I only, because I grew up on the original He-Man, and this particular character was introduced in the 2000 series. But $32 with all that stuff that it came with, even though the paint application is very, very minimal, I don't really mind that it's got minimal paint, because I still see this as a toy. I kind of like moving it around, posing it around without having to worry about paint scratches or paint chips and everything, which will be more prominent in the NECA figures. But yeah, playability wise, this guy is just so much fun, and he stands much taller than the regular Masters of the Universe figure, which I should get. Hold on. For comparison, as you can see, put him to the side here. I love that there's a definite change in height in these two. Yes, I didn't get to review this He-Man figure. He looks so awesome. You guys should, if you can still get it, you should definitely get it. I love this figure too. Anyway, it's a review. I don't want to play with toys right now. Okay, in terms of value, this value is very, very high on my list. I'm gonna say like maybe an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. If it was more painted, this would pop out more. If it had more, I don't know. I don't see. In terms of accessories, it's got everything I need. I don't need that much more in the hands. In terms of articulation, it's hitting everything I want. Paint is minimal, so that's why it's probably being knocked out a little bit. It's a very, very tough figure. Very, very playable. $33. Thumbs up on Mattel. I am loving this company again. And I used to love Mattel with DC Universe Classics. Mattel was my toy line rather than Hasbro or Toy Biz, So thumbs up for me. For TwoBad. It's not too bad. It's too cool. Too cool. Okay. Now we're going on to Hasbro's Cyclops with the VHS box, which I don't have because I threw it away. It might look cool initially, but this is how I keep my accessories in packaging. I usually cut out, so we both know we threw it away because I went ahead and cut it. I cut out parts of the box that features who it is, and I put the accessories in these baggies. So it comes with 5 types of hands. You have the pointing hand for laser, closed-fisted hand, 2 grasping hands, and that's it for $28. $28 reused body, but it is pinless, so that's kind of good. One of the major changes they made was they sculpted these straps in, so you don't have to worry about them falling off anymore. And you also don't have to worry about this strap being loose and limiting the articulation. It does have these paint application that makes it look like it's from the cartoon. It's a meh for me. It's a meh feature. Because even though it's pinless, I mean, hold on, let me grab. I'm sorry that my reviews seem willy-nilly, but I do have to. So this is the one from an overpack. So the head is different. Hairstyle is different. As you can see, this one does have the pins. That's why I had to stop and bring it out. The elbows doesn't have it, but the knees do have it. Is that... see, I don't really mind these falling down. I can just glue it anyway. I don't know why they didn't glue it. Um, there's no way I'm gonna remove them anyway. Um, this one has the pins. This one doesn't. I don't really mind as long as they're the same color. They only become a little bit more distracting when they're different colors. Like one will be red and one will be blue because these two colors were different. You know what I mean with Spider-Man and everything. All right, so we'll take these out because we are reviewing this guy. I do love the fact that he is a more brighter blue than the older one. Uh, but this, aside from the highlighted cartoon ones, I feel like the paint application is this one and this one is very very similar in terms of how much. And this one because I just realized that they did this have a paint wash over on this side, so it's not like this has more paint than the other one. The face, I do love the face because it does capture. Come on, focus. The cartoon very well. Very very reminiscent of the X-Men in the 1990s in the animated version, but still also very reminiscent of Jim Lee's comic book run. So that's why I got it. And I do like the fact that the shadowing does accentuate the muscles and all that stuff. Um, so I kind of like it that way. I just like this one. I just don't like that. So that's why it's a meh for me. Um, Articulation wise, it's very, very, it's like everything else in the Marvel Legends. Goes up like so. Twists to the side. And butterfly joints. Like that. And bicep swivel. All around on the hands. Double jointed elbows. Weird that it's got a cut here on the hands, but it doesn't twist. You do have a wrist peg. It goes side to side. Has an ab articulation. Waist swivel. You can go here on the thigh. It's got a tie cut that's hidden by this. The knees are double jointed, as you can see. Got a cut on the boots, which is kind of weird like that. Up and down on joints and an ankle swivel. Okay. What was I gonna say? Accessories wise, you guys remember when I said on TwoBad it's got all of the accessories that I can ever think of that it's gonna need. So I'm happy with what I've gotten accessories wise. This one doesn't. So the hands, yes, the hands are cool. It has enough of the hands that I want like an eye blast coming out of that one, but I don't, it doesn't have to be ugly with it being putting holes in this figure, but an eye blast somehow that you can put in this one would have been cool. Maybe a secondary head. It's $28, or is it? Yeah, it's $28, man. It's got 5 fists or 5 hands, and that's all you get from Hasbro. And it's, even though it's pinless, this is still reused. Everything else is mostly reused. Well, I mean, like, it's pinless. Boo! I mean, whoop-de-doo. They just basically went and made a new cat or mold without those holes. So I don't feel the $28 in this one. This should be around maybe $20, 22 for what we're getting. Especially since we already have the Cyclops from a different one. The only reason I got this was because this one has the jacket, and I would prefer the non-jacketed version. I prefer this look than the other one. But yeah, that's it for my 2 reviews for TwoBad from Mattel's Masters of the Universe and Cyclops from Hasbro's X-Men Marvel Legends. You guys have to decide for yourselves which one is the better value. Obviously, this is the X-Men from the 1990s, which I was still kind of into. the comics then, the cartoons. So this was a big thing for me. And Jim Lee, who doesn't know Jim Lee at this point? And he's running the X-Men in the 1990s. So in terms of the character, the values there, or I wanted this figure, but it is a repeat of this figure. And the only reason I wanted this one is because it doesn't have the jacket. So that kind of brings it down the value for me. I kind of want it, but I could have lived without it. And then you take in the fact that it's not really that painted. It's just as it pops as easily as this one. I think this thing only pops because of the use of the bright colors rather than this one, which has a dull color of the orange and the purple and the blues. Right? So in terms of paint application, they're both even. In terms of sculpt, I love this one so much more. It's a bigger figure. It's a more prominent figure on the shelves. Like if you look at these two, this one pops out more than this one ever will. Accessories, this one pops more, so the value in this one is higher. So for these to review, I think the value rests more towards TwoBad. Now, if you don't know anything about these figures and you're basically judging them for what they are, which is basically just two toys, and then the properties of the articulation, the paint, and the accessories, I still believe that this one pops out more rather than this one. Right? I don't know. It's bigger. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the plastic on this one is so much more solid, I feel, than the Hasbro. Watch this. Watch the foot. See the bend on that? The reason I bring that up is because when you're bending this elbow or the feet, you feel that slight rubberiness on the plastic that you're afraid that the pins might break. Look how much more effort I have to. Well, it's moving because the whole leg will move, but the plastic on this one is much more firmer than that. On this one, you don't feel that rubberiness. What you're feeling is a sturdier plastic material. I also wanted to talk about that, and I almost forgot. So I feel like the better value is here than in this one. But you guys will have to decide for yourselves if you agree or not. If you do agree, then I hope you stick around for some more reviews, because that's basically how I'm going to be formatting my review. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy your collection. I'm not putting it down if you're choosing Cyclops. I mean, you're disagreeing with me or arguing with me. This is just my opinion. And I hope that it does help you decide. If you already have this, maybe you don't need this one unless you want one with a jacket. In which case you have to fork over $28 if you can still find it. Thank you for watching. We're going for the next review, and I hope you stick around to watch more. Bye.